Welcome to the Virtual Coffee Lab, and welcome to the third annual Brew HaHa event here with my family. We went on a trip together, and I brought you guys along to show you one of the coffee experiences that my family and I enjoy every year. Part of that time we spent drinking coffee together, and we actually competed. We'll talk about that in the video, but you'll see a little bit of my family and the quirkiness and the fun that we have as far as coffee goes. There are a few nuggets that are takeaways for you to consider. One is, if you're drinking coffee by yourself, consider sharing it with a friend together and talking about what you're tasting. That's really helpful. It helps us learn more about the tasting notes and how to express what we're tasting. The other is the fact that we can brew the same coffee. All of us, we can all brew the same coffee, and it's going to taste differently based on our brewing devices, the water we use, the grinder, the technique for the brewing. All of these things are variables, and so in this video you're going to see a couple similar brewing devices, but every coffee tasted a little differently for one reason or another, and we talk about that, and ultimately there is a winner, and that's kind of a surprise. We will get into that, so enjoy the video. All right, welcome to the third annual Brew HaHa event here for our family. I'm going to start with my son Michael, and he's going to share a little about the event and the coffee we're going to be brewing today.
Okay, so at our brewing competition today, we have 3 people that are going to be participating. Each can use whatever equipment and brewing technology that they would like, but we'll all be brewing the same coffee. And then we have a helper who is going to divide that coffee into 3 separate tastings so that each of us can taste each coffee, and they will be marked just with a number, so we'll be tasting them blind, and we'll be tasting the coffees and talking about what they are like and picking what we think is first, second, and third place. And the coffee that we're going to be using today is a Kenyan coffee called Mamuto AB from George Howell Coffee Roasters.
Brew HaHa! All right, that was my son Michael, and he is one of 3 of us that are doing this event. Michael and I have been trading places for last in the last 2 years. And so now you're about to meet the reigning champion 2 years in a row, and we're going to see if Jeremy can fight off Michael and I and retain his position as the master Brew HaHa. All right, ooh.
Grown at about 1,500 feet above sea level, SL 28.
What's the process?
Kenyan?
No, the process. Is it washed?
It's the Kenyan process.
Oh. Well, tell us what the Kenyan process is.
I'm not qualified to do that. It is a form of washing that is unique to how they do it in Kenya.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's I think the Kenyan process is a different length of fermentation. All right, that's perfect. All right, looks pretty good. Smells really delicious.
Hello, I'm Jeremy. I've won the last couple of years for this Brew HaHa, and this is my equipment. Yeah, I just found this one recipe online, and it's been really working for me. So I'm hoping that 3 years it'll just keep working, keep plugging away.
Is it a secret recipe?
It is not a secret. I actually shared my recipe, and it's the George Howell method. Basically, just using using a stainless steel cleanup, and with your kettle, you just basically make circular motion. Starting in the middle, working your way out, and you do that basically, 15 seconds with the water, 15-second wait, and then you just do that until you get your desired weight.
All right, Jeremy's being a little bashful, but as I mentioned before, he's the reigning champion, And the goal here is to beat Jeremy today. So we're going to try to do that. And each of us is using a different brew method, and that'll be highlighted as we're doing the brewing, and we'll talk about it more when we do the tasting. Okay, so Jeremy is using a Kalita, and I think Michael's using a Kalita or a December dripper. I'm using a brewing device that I've only used once in my entire life. I picked this up from the people at Ethos, and these are the same people that make the Airscape. This is kind of a hybrid brewing device that I'm going to be doing a video on. It basically is a combination of an AeroPress and a French press kind of a system that all gets put into this big flask. They call this the flask. So we'll check this out. All right. So the flask has the grounds already put in it now, and I've put in my water. So basically 25 grams of coffee, 350 grams of water. And if you look closely at this, you'll see that it's completely dry inside the flask. Everything is inside the cylinder right now. And I've got a plunger set up here. So in a little bit, in about 2 minutes, I'll go ahead and press this through into the flask, and we'll be ready to drink the beverage.
About 60 grams for pre-infusion. Let that go for a few minutes. Still smelling great, getting a little more maple syrup. And we're just gonna let this settle and filter through now.
Just giving it a pour every 30 seconds. Giving it 65 grams. This is my award-winning method. See if it stands up for 3 years in a row. Just gotta make sure all the coffee gets saturated with water.
The suspense is killing me. There's got to be a technique to pressing this, and I haven't really figured that out yet. So I'm just applying constant pressure, but I'm not doing it fast. I am using an AeroPress filter in the flask. It comes with some, but you can also just do it like a French press. It has its own built-in filter system. Okay, Lauren is distributing the coffee now into the cups. And again, this is a blind tasting. Okay, we're here at the tasting, and Lauren, one of our family members, has divided this coffee up for us. We've got cup number 1, cup number 2, and cup number 3 set up in front of us, and each one represents one of our brews. All the same coffee. And how long has it been? It's been a few minutes since we brewed this, so it's still relatively hot. And we'll get started. Wow. Okay, so Jeremy, the reigning champion of the Brew HaHa, third annual event taking place here, please tell us your predictions of the order of who comes in last, second place, and who comes in first.
All right, thank you. Well, this is my order. So, I did 2, 3, and 1. So, and well, maybe it's just my pride or something, but I think 2 could be me.
Of course.
I don't know. It tasted like familiar to me. I could see that. It happening every day, but maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. And I thought 3 was similar. So that's why I was thinking it could be because we both used the Calita, but I could be wrong. Who knows? And then this one seemed the most different to me, number 1. So that's why I said that. But who knows? Maybe I'm wrong.
All right. All right, and Michael, you already shared yours, right?
I didn't say my guesses of who's whose. I was just
All
describing
right.
the coffee.
Yeah, go ahead and guess. Keep in mind the whole dirty brewing device thing. The brewing device I used has only been used now the second time.
It did smell like sardines, though.
It was like dirty lake water.
So to me, I think 2 and 1 are the most similar in
really?
terms of strength
Yeah.
and the general sense overall of the cup. 3 is the outlier. It's
Okay.
just stronger and different.
Interesting.
But out of 2 and 1, 2 is obviously superior, sweeter, more balanced, no off tastes. 1 has some off tastes, and it has multiple faults. So I would guess these 2 are the Calitas.
Okay.
Maybe, and then based upon that, mine's number 1, since I'm always inferior to Jeremy.
Both of
Okay.
you guys think
No.
you're number 1.
No, mine's number 1,
Oh,
which
number
is
1,
last
okay.
place.
Gotcha.
Because Jeremy always beats me in this competition. I don't know.
Well, I think higher of you, so you're number 3 in my book.
3, the thing is, I think I'm using a higher water to coffee ratio than either of you. So it would surprise me if mine is number 3, which has more flavor.
Okay.
Although
your
I was
ratio?
the only one using ideal water.
Oh, yeah.
So if it was fruit, I could also see mine being number 3 because it is fruitier and more flavorful and more intense.
Yeah.
My ratio was 22.6 grams of coffee and 398 grams of water,
You know the.
which is like 17.5 to 1 or something
Okay.
like that.
I think mine's like 1 to 16 or something.
Yeah, yours is stronger.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Not by much.
Well, 1 to 16 is a big difference from 1 to 17,
Really?
I think.
25 grams, 350 grams.
His
stronger.
his is the strongest of all,
Oh yeah.
which
Man.
that keeps me thinking these 2 are yours and mine, and mine's
Well-
largely inferior.
So, I think that it's not just the ratio. I think it's also the duration, like the time of the brew, like helps it too. So.
What was your total brew
Yeah.
3
time?
minutes.
Ooh.
What was yours?
3 minutes.
Mine was 4:10.
Mine was 4:15.
Okay, I will say that with this brewing device that I used, the flask, the first time I used it, the one word I said after it was "oh my," right, was juicy.
Oh.
When I brewed a
Interesting.
different coffee on that, it had some fruit in it. It just was juicier than if I were to use, say,
Pressure brings out the acidity.
I think so.
Oh yeah.
I really think so. This, and when I pressed this, Lauren's got it. I mean, it was just constant, nice and slow, and it was really filtered because I had the AeroPress filter plus its own built-in filter. So, as far as texture goes, I mean, it is super refined.
So what's your prediction for who? Who's who?
I think the one that stands out the most
Number 3?
is number 3, and I think that happens to be mine.
Of course. Of course.
And then the other 2 were very similar because I wrote that in my notes. The first one was really sweet and juicy, dark fruit, clean finish, juicy mouthfeel. And the other one was similar to it, but maybe a little cleaner and not as intense. But then we got to 3 and it was like an explosion. So I have no idea, all speculative.
So both of these guys think that
They want-
their coffee is the favorite coffee.
But okay.
We'd like to think
And-
that.
well-
Michael has number 2 as his best, and you have
Yeah.
number 2 as your worst.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
Well, yeah, I had number 2 as my best too.
Talk about
Yeah,
that.
But
Why does number
Why
2 suck for you?
don't you like number 2?
yeah, just because I think I like more intense coffee. You know, I like more flavor in the coffee. And number 2, compared to the other ones, just seemed more muted. Michael called that balanced, which is probably a good description. I'm not saying it was bad. I mean, the coffee is a great coffee.
Yeah.
But
So
it's just not as, it doesn't stand out. Maybe that's not the right way to judge it.
yeah. Okay.
That's,
Yeah, because I think I remember from previous years. Well, this goes back to why I think mine's number 2. Because in previous years, it ended up being mine that won, and it was because it's like more balanced, but it more, I guess, subtle, and you didn't like it then either.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and
That's
that's
fine.
all subjective,
yeah,
really.
yeah,
It
it's all
is.
about your own taste buds.
It is. It is. All 3 of these were great coffees. I enjoyed all 3 of them. But when you have them side by
I don't
side,
know. One was not great.
see, I thought
No.
You're a little disappointed.
One was
by
not
it.
great.
According to your votes, who's the winner and who's the loser?
Yeah.
so. I have 3-1-2.
Jeremy and I both think number 2 is the winner, and we both think number 3 is second place.
Yeah. So maybe number 3, 2 or 3, I don't know.
I don't
Wait.
know. I don't know if we have
And
consensus.
so you think? Wait,
Yeah.
what do you think 1 is? What do you think 1's last place then?
both of us think 1 is last place.
Okay, well then that's it. It's 2 out of 3. So those votes.
So the
So
official
yeah,
order is
it's either-
2, 3, 1.
All right. In third place, coffee cup number 1 is Jeremy.
ooh, upset.
overturned.
Okay, and Michael said that his coffee was very similar to Jeremy's coffee. Isn't that what you said? You think? your
I think
prediction-
1 and 2 are the Khalid. Wait. Yeah, I think 1 and 2 are the Khalidas.
Okay, Courtney.
All right. In second place, runner up,
Number 3.
cup number 3, Michael.
Ooh,
Second place.
This is fascinating.
the flask. The flask.
But wait, what did you put as number 1?
What did I put as number
Yeah.
1? Number 2.
And that's first place, number 2, Mike.
Me.
But,
Yay,
he
did
liked
vote
no,
for
wait,
himself.
you liked your coffee the least.
You like?
No. I
Oh,
didn't.
yeah, you did. You said number 2 was the worst.
Yeah.
2 right here, number 2.
Wait a second. Oh, no, no.
like your
Hold on.
coffee
Hold
the
on.
least.
Hold on. Wait a second. Wait a second.
Caught on video. Caught on video.
This isn't making any sense. Look what I wrote down.
You wrote down what we said.
Oh. Well, you guys like my coffee the best.
We liked your coffee the best, and it wasn't ours.
And you thought it was the worst.
You thought
Mine was the
that
most
your
balanced.
coffee was the most balanced and therefore
Okay.
the worst.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
And the
Yeah,
water
okay.
makes because number 3.
That
Wow, make a
really.
difference. Wow.
That's surprising.
Jeremy, yours tasted like you need to wash your Kalita.
Go look at it. You can tell he needs to wash.
Step it
Yeah.
up.
Go grab his Cleta.
Go look at it.
Grab the Cleta.
It's probably
Jeremy's
brown.
real quick. It's over near his kettle.
Why didn't you wash it?
My goal this year was to not win.
Makes sense of all this.
This has been a bitter defeat for Brew HaHa 2022. And I think part of the cleanliness, or lack thereof, of my Cleta, this is, so you need to go home and scrub whatever brewing device you use after using it, just to keep your cup nice and clean. Otherwise, you're going to end up in third place.
So what's fascinating about this is that Jeremy and I both loved the coffee that was my dad's. My dad, his least favorite coffee was his. No one who did one person think number 3 was mine?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, Jeremy thought number 3 was mine, so he was right in that respect. So I'm the only person that used distilled water treated with third wave water packets, and my coffee was the most different from the others. So that definitely has a strong effect. Not surprising. Coffee is 98 or 99% water, I guess. But it made a drastic difference. And what's
Juicy.
really interesting is he's always making fun of me using that water,
Yeah.
but it caused him to prefer that cup.
Yeah, it did. I should have.
So many ironies
Yeah, I
of
should
this
have known.
competition.
It was fun.
Well-
So what that means, though, is Jeremy is dethroned.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah. Well, I remember So last year, we drank Michael's coffee first, and he didn't like his coffee. And
I
this
know.
year, we had my coffee first, and I didn't like my coffee.
It's the curse of spot number one.
It is the curse of spot
And
number
Dad takes the throne with the coffee that he thought was the worst.
It's the irony of irony.
Worst
Stephen.
coffee wins.
The irony of irony.
Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed that video. We had a lot of fun brewing that coffee together, and it was really a shocker that I ended up winning this year. My first time that I've ever won the Brew HaHa event with our family, and I'm looking forward to doing the same thing again next year. If you liked what you saw today, subscribe to my channel, hit the like button, and as always, be sure that you've hit that bell notification so that when I upload new videos, you're notified. I hope you have a great week brewing and roasting. See you next time.